If you've got a question, the voices of resin are here. Oh, PlastChicks.
PlastChicks is an SPE-sponsored podcast.
Yeah, well, here we are at the lovely Sarasota Modern Hotel. You probably hear a little bit of the pool and the little waterfall in the background.
It's our poolside episode.
We got some pina coladas here with flamingos out of them.
Living our best lives.
Yeah. But enough about us. We have a return guest here, Wendy, whom if you saw our interview, it looked like a hostage situation.
She loved it. She loved where she was.
I loved it.
It was back, was that season 7, 8, something like that. Back at an Antec. We found a closet room in the basement. It was nice and quiet to record in. The lighting was not optimal.
No.
But thankfully, we made it through the interview without any of us getting beat up too badly.
She's here today.
She's here today.
I'm back.
And returning, so clearly it wasn't that bad.
Yeah. And we have Wendy's lovely husband with us as well, Steve.
Hi. How are you?
Good. Thanks so much for joining us.
No problem.
So we wanted to recreate or do a modern version of the PPA historical tapes. So we are here. Well, actually, why don't you tell us? Tell us why we're here.
So we're here for the Plastics Pioneers Association meeting. We have an annual meeting all over the U.S., and we all get together. It's all of us who have been well experienced in the industry. Many folks that are either resin suppliers or converters or downstream users, and it's a lot of fun. It's more of a social occasion. So we get together we get together and have a great time together. So it's a compliment to SPI, SPE, the Plastics Hall of Fame, the other organizations that are out there. So we're kind of a sister organization to many of those. Yeah. So.
And how long have you all both been involved with?
Because this is a duo Plastics Pioneers
I think
power
Wendy
couple.
joined in 14 and I joined in 15.
Oh, you had to copy her. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, she joined first, and then I liked it, so I joined. So
so he might as well be a member because he was a longtime veteran as well.
The veterans come and they bring their spouses. So I came as a spouse the first time, and then I joined up.
So let's go back even further. I guess how long have you both been working in the plastics industry, and did you meet through work or in college?
Or side quest?
What's your origin story?
I'm older, so I get to say I graduated in 1981 and started to work for Dow Chemical. And
I've heard of them.
in polyethylene R&D. And Wendy was a co-op in 84. So I met her 3 years into it. And we met at Dow. Yeah.
Dow, the matchmaking capital of the plastics industry.
It is.
There were a lot of couples.
There were a bunch of us.
I was going to say, I feel like I know many a couple, Dow couple.
Particularly polyethylene, because we were down in Freeport,
it's the romance
Texas.
polymer?
It is the romance.
It is the romance
it's the
polymer.
most romantic of all the polymers.
I think so.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was that. I think it was the... you came out of school and you went down to Freeport, Texas, which was at the time at least an hour south of Houston. So you only knew each other. And so a lot of couples met.
That took a lot of romance away from it, Steve.
Yeah, we had our own social club in the evenings, and we'd all meet over at the Oaks of Lake Jackson, and
which is owned by Dow.
You couldn't drink in a lot of places; it was still dry.
Yeah, it was a dry
so
county.
they had a special social club. So there was many a meetup.
And what was the male to female ratio back in the day?
Oh my!
I'm sure it was basically 50-50, super progressive.
No, back in the day, no.
Not back then, no.
Far more men to women.
Maybe 20% female engineers, maybe.
And
now
I think we're up to 25% now in 2026.
Now it's 50-50?
I would say in where we were in polyethylene
it was.
tech service.
Yeah, by the time we retired, absolutely.
Way to go, Dow.
Dow just made a female CEO.
Yeah.
We did see that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Karen Carter.
Karen Carter.
Exciting stuff.
Exactly.
Very exciting stuff.
Yeah.
So what drew you to each other? That was a funny. This is one of the podcast episodes we're not filming, but you should have seen that clip.
We had a tennis league, and I played against her in tennis. So
who won?
Oh, I did. Yeah.
No.
Steve, did you get some sun, or are you just suddenly blushing there?
Oh yeah. I mean, he is an interesting guy. I mean, we had the common Dow stuff going on, and he's a chemist. I'm an engineer, so there's a little bit of back and forth on that. But most importantly, he has a double major in literature too.
Oh,
And so I was attracted to him because of his chemistry stuff, but fell in love with him over his literature. And I always tell people, I said, he encouraged me to read things and think differently. And so he's got a right brain, left brain thing going on.
I love that. I remember in our interview, this was when we had known you for maybe not even 24
and you
hours.
were slightly
at this
fearful
point.
of us.
But you talked about like being, a dynamic, like multifaceted, person in the industry,
Yeah.
like learner. So what is there a particular like style of literature that you really focused on, or that you really love?
Oh, I liked it all. Named our first son after Kurt Vonnegut.
Oh,
His
okay.
name was Kurt. So if that gives you a hint, you know him.
Yeah, is your favorite number 22, maybe?
22, no, 42, but
Okay.
right, Douglas Adams.
Yeah.
So how do you guys explain your relationship to people who didn't come from the Dow matchmaking program when they see that both of you met at work and you have very similar, I guess not necessarily career paths, but from the outside you could say like, yeah, they work at Dow and they do that plastic thing.
Yeah.
How do you explain that to people? What do they think about your relationship in that way? We don't need the town gossip.
Yeah. I think we are pretty compatible from an overall, what we do in the industry together. I mean, we've had a lot of experience, but people kind of met us kind of mid-career. And so people that knew us beforehand have probably a different opinion of us before then. But I think my attraction to him was just all about that we had things we could do together, and we still do. I mean, we run our own company now together, but we have our very specific, you do this and you do that, so we don't interfere too much. So he really drives the technology now, and I drive more of the business side and marketing. So it's a nice complement, and it kind of keeps our relationship going. And we have a lot of fun. We travel, we take care of customers, and
So not stepping on each other's toes, but perfectly
exactly.
complementing each
At
other.
Dow, we never actually worked exactly together, which they did on purpose, I think.
Purpose,
Right?
yeah.
We work together now.
Jokes on them.
And it's good.
yeah.
Does Kurt serve as the HR department then, or
Say again?
what? So you said you named your son Kurt?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No.
does he serve as your HR department when you guys have?
He's quite the talker.
Yeah, he is. He's our extra expressive child.
He's actually a lieutenant in the Marines. So,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, lieutenant,
Don't
sorry.
bust him. He's a
Colonel in the Marines. He was a lieutenant.
Lieutenant colonel.
Lieutenant colonel, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's done real well.
Wow, that's incredible.
How long have you been working together? How long ago did you start your own company, and why did you start it?
So we both basically retired from Dow in 2010. His division was being sold off and became Styron, which is now Trinseo. And then I was like, it's time for me to go too. Off we went. And I mean, he was still doing Trinseo for two more years after that. And I just made a conscious decision. I was running ventures and business development when I left Dow, and I didn't want to go back into the corporate fray. And so I said, let's do something different. Let's start our own company. And I basically am doing the same thing I did when I retired from Dow. We just do it on our own now. So private equity startups, folks come to us before they put money down, and they ask us to do these technology and business assessments for a specific area. So we've worked in carbon nanotubes. We've worked in
Nanolayer films.
So a lot of different things that we've helped people out with. So
Now, Steve, had you already retired from Dow at that point, or did she actually steal you away from Dow?
No, like I said, I went to Trinseo for 2 years.
Yeah.
So in total, I was there 31 years. But then I was ready. And we took about a year off of doing nothing.
And then we jumped back in.
And then our former boss called us and went to work for him in Austin.
Yeah.
And we actually moved to Austin and had a good time. Yeah. And
so what kind of couple would you guys say you are? Are you the divide and conquer? Are you the let's make a meal together kind of couple? You know, it seems like you guys kind of do we complement each other, but are there any situations where you guys kind of change your couple style based on what you're doing?
We pretty much hang out together. We travel together. We do our stuff together. We work together now. We have our spaces that obviously
Very key.
need our spaces, but no, we're pretty complimentary, I think, of hanging out together. So
yeah, I think so.
So, what is something, because you do work together, and I know that you go on these consultations together. What's something one of you was convinced was the right way to do something that the other completely disagreed with?
Even if it's something small, like folding the way you fold the towels, because I can tell you
or I was talking specifically about work.
But I'm saying anything.
Pick one of you can pick one for outside of work, and one of you pick one for inside of work.
Because my husband folds the towels the wrong way, and till the day I die, he will probably always fold them the wrong way.
You know what? I think at my point in life, he is so good about helping around the house. I had another relationship before that I didn't have those kind of activities where my partner was really helpful. So he's pretty wonderful.
In the kitchen, Wendy cooks and I clean up.
Yeah.
That's
and
a great duo.
I don't mind that at all. At all.
I'm happy that he does it. You know, I mean, there's more than one right way to do something, and I'll just do it. You know, I love that he does that. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, now Steve, then the workplace question goes to you. What was there some time when you felt, it's got to be this is probably the root cause, and like I'm focused on this, and Wendy disagreed, or vice versa?
And not that you thought she was wrong, just you thought a different way about it.
Okay, I'll give you a recent example where we were working with a group, and one of the younger guys wasn't doing very well. And Wendy wanted to cream him in front of his boss. And I said, no, don't. Mm-hmm. No, don't. And I asked her, don't. I said, I let me work with them. And she didn't. And I'm glad, because a lot more came out. And so. Yeah,
and he's really progressed. You know, I'm more of a let's address this up front, right. You know, make sure we take care of it now. And in this case, it was a good deal that Steve took some time to mentor and coach and, you know, spend some time with this young man, figured out what the issues were, and we've moved ahead since then. So,
and then conversely, I don't go near as fast as she does. And so I want to get way more data. I'm much more data driven.
He's not analytical, but more analytical than I am. So, yeah.
I support that. And I feel like, Wendy, I'm probably in your camp. Once I feel like I got the gut check, I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to take care of business, you know, kind of thing. So,
so let's go back to, I guess, on the opposite end of that. Maybe not opposite end of that. What's something you each admire about each other's work style?
So Wendy did really well at Dow, rose up to very, very high levels. And I was asked many times, how did she do so well? Why has she done so well? And
she's amazing, duh.
And
what
I thought
has she
about
got that I don't got?
I had to think about, no, I didn't.
Got it all.
Hey, no. I didn't want to. Okay. I wanted to work in the lab and do the lab stuff and get the data. But what I finally what I observed and told people then was Wendy was able to get things done without pissing people off.
That is an actual art form.
Yeah. I also decided about 3 years after being married that Wendy didn't want to be CEO of Dow. She wanted to be king.
Not even queen, just straight to king
of Dow. Yeah.
Absolute monarch.
Yeah.
Sorry, telling all your secrets.
That's all telling our secrets. things I admire about Steve. I mean, Steve had an amazing rapport with customers, and he still does today. And when we go out, he can very quickly go in and analyze what's going on with the plastics company or what's needed, and sometimes causes me to pull back and say, wait a minute, Wendy, like the story we just told. We need to be a little more circumspect and a little more information before we move ahead. So he always is willing to pull me back and do the right thing, but very supportive along the way. So, yeah.
So what's something that people wouldn't realize it takes to build the type of life you guys have built together? Because you guys have a very unique style besides the Dow matchmaking, because apparently that was the history.
Yeah, we get that question a good bit. I think, he's amazing. I mean, he helped so much, true partner with the kids. I mean, when we got married, we had a 6, 5, and 4-year-old that we blended the families together. And that was not a trivial deal. We had to deal with both of us traveling and both of us, being a great mid-career couple. And I think just that support network and being willing to take on activities at home that were just as important as activities at work and be in strong partnership, but always knowing that we were most important, the two of us together, was kind of the center of our relationship. So I think that was most important, at least from my perspective. So.
Yeah, very underrated notion there. I think sometimes people, especially like if you're coming in mid-career, like that's a really tricky point. Are you trying to build your career? Are you trying, sometimes it's, do you want to do the family or do you want to do the career? And they're not always brought together. And sometimes it can get really individualistic. So the fact that you two recognize that this is not an individual situation, I think that speaks a lot to why you guys are so fun to be around.
And we were really, really lucky. Dow Chemical took care of us. So Wendy had a big opportunity in Europe.
Yeah.
And my boss said, yeah, you can go.
That's amazing.
Right. So I transferred my work to Europe and worked from there, even though it was really for her. Yeah. And that was 3 wonderful years.
And I could not have gone as far. Being a mom and, a single mom at the time, and had he not been as supportive and be able to support our family, because we weren't going to give up our family to be able to be successful, but he was so critical. But I think I wouldn't have gone. We wouldn't have gone to Europe had you not had a good opportunity to continue to grow on your side too. So it was a give and take. Yeah. So.
All right. Here's just a question for you each individually. What is one thing you feel like one of your proudest moments in your career? And then what is one moment that you've really been in awe of your partner in their career?
Oh, goodness.
She's like, you can be in awe of me. Go ahead.
Awe me now.
I was running a high-density polyethylene injection molding group, and we developed a new resin for basically rubber butter tubs and promotional drink cups, that kind of thing. And it was from start to finish. The project went really, really well. We did the design of experiment. The technology turned out to be exactly not what we expected, but it worked dramatically. We launched it. It did real well. I won a thing called a Genesis Award or whatever it was called, a Futures Award at Dow for 10 million pounds of sales in a year, that kind of thing. And it did quite well. But the pièce de résistance was when PlastChicks. Do y'all know PlastChicks? You're from Chicago.
They ended up selling.
They're part of Berry now. Berry.
Yes, yeah. I was going to say, it sounds familiar.
One of our customers walked me in and he said, we used to run polypropylene on this line, and they all ran like crap. This whole building. He said, we put your stuff in, their high density steel that you developed for us. Boom, everything runs lovely, perfectly. So, I mean, it's just a little story, but that kind of thing makes you feel
You did a little double hair toss. I did it.
Yeah, that was great. That was
Feathered
great.
those bangs. So, and this polymer, this resin that you developed, it's still being used in the same applications today?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
And they expanded
so minor
it.
contribution.
They expanded it to different grades and different markets and everything.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
I was very impressed and very proud of him for doing that. That was a big deal at Dow. And at a time, really at the beginning, it was kind of at the beginning, just at the end of before Insight Technology came along. So it was our real true innovations on the last of the Ziegler-Natta kind of polyethylenes that were out there. So it was making polymers doing new tricks and doing new things. So it was something very unique that you guys developed. So
you
very
can
proud of him
teach
for
an
that.
old polymer new tricks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I get to answer this first. So what did I most proud of Wendy? What did I heard? Honestly, the people that worked for her would come up to me and tell how much they enjoyed working for her.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And it's just people oriented more than anything else, because that's what I like. And they did. Although Stephanie Searhall once told me, I'd love working for Wendy, just don't piss her off.
Honestly, that's my favorite type of person to be.
She did.
That's what I strive for.
That's right. Yeah.
Beautiful. And Wendy, how about you?
Yes. So the teams that I worked with over the years had a bunch of launches, and I'm really proud of stuff that took place in a whole variety of things. I could tell you 10 stories, but one of the most fun ones that I was kind of the technology lead, but beginning to be the kind of the higher level leader at the time, was adhesives. And so I think you met Teresa Cardula. She and I worked together closely on introducing, making metallocene polyolefins do very, very different new industries. And so that's what our media group was doing. And so launching that into the H.B. Fullers of the world, or the Hinkels of the world, and making these polymers they'd never been able to use, polyolefins like this, perform more like an EVA, and others that were out there are better than. So we had to put in some very unique process technology. We had to do all the pilot plant trials, and I spent many, many hours out there watching these things be run on the pilot lines and then launching those. And they're still making a lot of money for Dow. Affinity GAs are the polymer that are out there, and they're pretty amazing. So that was kind of one of my most fun projects, I guess, running it.
So if for those listening, like, this is an actual power couple, and pretty much you have touched something they have done at some point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, we just started off talking of making some jokes about BPA and phthalates. If you're doing something that can replace EVA, then that's potentially removing a lot of,
It
potentially
really
harmful
is.
chemicals.
You're ahead of the
it was,
curve.
pretty cool stuff. So it's been out there for 25 years now. So it's making a lot of money. Yeah.
Beautiful. And keeping people healthier probably too.
Go team polyolefins. All right. Well, I think it's been really nice talking to you guys. Wendy, we love having you come back. I think you're actually the first person that's come back on the podcast.
Is that right?
All right.
I think so.
Repeat performance.
You get the crown.
New proudest moment, maybe
There
in
you
your
go.
career.
There you go. Exactly.
Steve
Back
Meyer
here with
heard
him.
this about
Yeah.
her.
All right.
but-
We enjoyed being here, guys. We always love talking to you. So
Yeah, and it's great to hear like what a plastics power couple looks like, and we are just so grateful that you could share your time with us today.
awesome.
All right,
Thanks.
thank you.
Hey, thanks so much for listening to PlastChicks. New episodes appear on the first Friday of every month. So either follow or subscribe to get those new episodes ASAP. PlastChicks, The Voices of Resin, is a plastics podcast sponsored by SPE, Inspiring Plastics Professionals. If you want to find out more about SPE, please visit SPE.org.
If you've got a question, the voices of resin are here. Oh, PlastChicks.
PlastChicks is an SPE sponsored podcast.